Now we move on to Asia. Rescuers in East Java, Indonesia are racing against time to find dozens of people still believed to be trapped under the rubble of a school building that has collapsed on Monday. Officials say at least 6 students have been pronounced dead and about 100 have been injured in the tragedy. Over 13 people have been freed from debris since the rescue efforts began on Monday, out of which 2 have died during the treatment. While authorities have said that crying and shouting could still be heard from under the rubble, the rescue chief has noted that while the concrete slabs are being moved, this could endanger the lives of the survivors. Anxious relatives are camping out on mats outside the school, waiting for news on their loved ones. A board has been also put up by the search team listing the names of those still unaccounted for, while parents demand answers from the authorities. Parents have also complained that there is no apology from the management of the Islamic boarding school and no one has taken the responsibility for this tragedy. There are questions being raised on the substandard construction of the school or as to why were the students conducting prayers on the first floor while the construction was underway on the third and fourth floor. Now for this discussion, we are joined by retired Major General Dr. Rajan Kochhar, Senior Strategic and Defense Expert, joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much for joining us today. Good to see you. Now, how can authorities in Indonesia, how should they improve safety regulation for school buildings looking at this news?
First of all, Asuma, very, very sad to hear this incident.
Yeah.
Because, it is a sheer case of negligence. It does happen in our country also at times when we see this type of unauthorized construction. Now, let us understand the root cause of the problem. The first aspect is that it was an old building, but 2 extra floors were being constructed. So, structurally, the building was not able to take on this load. And there are civic laws, municipal clearances required whenever you carry out proper construction of a building, the design and whatever is the structural strength of the pillars and the concrete has to be assessed by the authorities. They are qualified engineers who are assigned these tasks in every governance model. I think this was a failure because possibly may have been circumvented due to many reasons. And a second important aspect is that the school authorities are also required to take on this blame of allowing a prayer or a class happening on the first floor when the construction was going on to the second and the third floor, because this is normally against the norms. A third aspect, what I'm observing is that these schools are overcrowded in the sense that if a particular building can take on X number of students, we find that a very large number of students are being admitted in these schools, which are not able to take on that infrastructure requirement. So it's a very, very serious aspect. I think certain amount of regulatory mechanisms have to be enforced by the government authorities, which I think has not been done. The permits which have been issued need to be investigated, that what kind of permissions were accorded by the authorities, who has accorded the permission. I think a transparent inquiry has to go into it. And the most important aspect now is the rescue of these children. I believe there is a possibility to do tunneling also into this thing, because in case the children are trapped inside, it will be very, very difficult to disturb the concrete as of now, because it may lead to a further uh, uh, the debris is actually falling again. So it's a very, very delicate operation. I think the the authorities, or the Indonesian
Yes.
uh, disaster relief organization, because every country has a
Yes.
disaster relief organization, like we have the NDMA and the NDRF with us. Indonesia also has these organizations with them, and these will have to be got into an immediate kind of a mode, unless we are able to recover things in a faster time frame. There may be more loss of lives.
Yes. With that, I would like to thank Major General Dr. Rajan Kochar for